Good morning students, welcome to Leela's tutorial. So today let us discuss about animal models and their significance in scientific research. So in scientific research we are making use of certain animal species for the study. So here why we need to go for the study on the animals? In order to make benefit to the pharmaceutical and the medicinal industries, in order to produce a new medicine or any new surgeries. So here you can say that model organisms are non-human species that are used in laboratories to help scientists understand biological processes. When the scientists will examine or do research on the animals, they will be more they get more knowledge about the biological processes so that they can implement on the humans. So here you can see, based on the animal models or the model organisms, here Davidson has given certain characteristics. So these are the appropriate characteristics which must be present in your selected model animal. So first one is appropriateness as an analog. So this is the first character that model organism must have, where it must be more or less similar to the human. When you want to go for the research on the brain, then you are going to select the animal whose brain is more or less similar to the human's brain. So like that you have to select an appropriate analog which is more or less similar so that you can go for the comparative study. Then second one is transferability of information. So here the transferability of information means the information has to be transferred in between a group of animals. So for example, you can see all the birds flock together. Then animals move together. So that is an information which is transferred within the group of animals. Then the next characteristic is the genetic uniformity of the organism. So here the genetic uniformity means here the genome of all the organisms must be same and stable. There should not be any variation in their genetics. The next one is background knowledge of biological properties. So when you know the biological properties of an animal, so here the background means the previous generations also. So you will be having a complete knowledge about the digestive system, reproductive system, vascular system and all the biological or the metabolic activities which are occurring in that particular animal. Then you have the cost and availability. The cost of the animal must be very low and the availability must be very high. It is not that you are going to use some endangered animal as an animal model. So that must not be happened. So here the availability must be high. Then it is generalization of the results. So in the research, the scientists will be examining or they go for the study on different animals belonging to the same species. But when they research on all the animals, they have to analyze what is the result and then they have to compare and give the interference, right? So like that they have to generalize the result when they work on many number of animals for particular research. Then next is easy adaptability to the experimental manipulations. So here the animals will be experimentally manipulated. That means they are allowed to undergo the genetic manipulations, right? Embryonic manipulations. So here all these manipulations must be tolerated by the animal and it must get adjusted to those manipulations or the sudden changes. Next, coming to the ecological consequences. So here the ecological consequences means here the extreme conditions such as the climatic conditions, it may be a drought, floods or any other extreme conditions to which these animals must be adaptable or they must be tolerant to those extreme conditions. The next characteristic of the animal model, here it is ethical implications. So researchers are working on so many animals, but they should know the value of that animal, right? They should have some respect towards the animal though they are making research on them. So here whatever the animals they are using, they must minimize the utility of the animals for the research, and also they must have a complete knowledge about the animal, and they should not suffer the animal or kill the animal for the sake of research, right? So here then last one is the maintain and breed in laboratory condition. So animal model whatever you are selecting, that must be easy to maintain in respective of their environmental condition, laboratory condition or food, right? Whatever you are providing them, that should be easy, and they should be increased breeding, so that you can study the more number of generations. If the lifespan of the model animal is low, then you can go for the study of various generations, the next generations. If the lifespan is very high, then the animal, it will take very long time to complete the research. If the lifespan is less, you can study the more number of generations, right? You can study about their progeny and next first generation, second generation and so on. So like this, these are the characteristics which you have to know before selecting the model animal. So if after selecting these animals, again you have another 4 categories, right, where these model animals are classified. The first one is experimental animals. These are nothing but induced animals, where we are inducing them, right? We are using these animals, or we are making the animal to get adapted to the laboratory conditions. Second one is spontaneous animals. That means these are naturally occurring animal models. Then third one is negative animals, which doesn't react to any other conditions, right? Then last you have orphan animals. So these orphan animals do not have any coexistence. Other coexisting animals are unknown, right? So here we have discussed about how you are going to select the model animals. In next class we will discuss about the another model animals with examples. Thank you.